came to the great doors at the further side, and a draught of air refreshed him. Still there was no sight nor sound of Smaug. He was just about to turn and go back, when a black shape swooped at him and brushed his face. He squeaked and started, stumbled backwards, and fell. His torch dropped head downwards and went out. "Only a bat, I suppose, and hope," he said miserably. "Thorin, Balin, Owen, Glowin, Feely, Keely," he cried as loud as he could. "The light's gone out. Someone come and find me and help me."
Now what on earth or under it has happened? Certainly not the dragon, or he would not go on squeaking. It seems we have got to go and help our burglar.
"Only a bat and a drop torch. Nothing worse," said Bilbo in answer to their questions. The mere fleeting glimpse of treasure which they had caught as they went along had rekindled all the fire of their dwarvish hearts. And when the heart of a dwarf, even the most respectable, is wakened by gold and by jewels, he grows suddenly bold, and he may become fierce. All were willing to believe that for the present Smaug was away from home. Each now gripped a lighted torch, and as they gazed, first on one side and then on another, they forgot fear and even caution. Feely and Keely were almost in a merry mood, and finding still hanging there many golden harps strung with silver, they took them and struck them, and being magical, and also untouched by the dragon, who had small interest in music, they were still in tune. The dark hall was filled with a melody that had long been silent. But most of the dwarves were more practical. They gathered gems and stuffed their pockets, and let what they could not carry fall back through their fingers with a sigh. Thorin searched from side to side for something which he could not find. It was the Arkenstone, but he spoke of it yet to no one. Now the dwarves took down mail and weapons from the walls and armed themselves. Royal indeed did Thorin look, in a coat of gold-plated rings, with a silver-hafted axe in a belt crusted with scarlet stones.
"Mr. Baggins," he cried, "here is the first payment of your reward. Cast off your old coat and put on this."
With that he put on Bilbo a small coat of mail, wrought for some young elf prince long ago. It was of silver steel, which the elves call mithril, and with it went a belt of pearls and crystals. "I feel magnificent," he thought, "but I expect I look rather absurd. How they would laugh on the hill at home. Thorin, what next? We're armed, but what good has any armour ever been against Smaug the Dreadful? This treasure is not yet won back. We're not looking for gold yet, but for a way of escape, and we have tempted luck too long."
"You speak the truth," answered Thorin, recovering his wits. "Let us go. I will guide you. Not in 1,000 years should I forget the ways of this palace."
One by one they walked behind Thorin, a line of little lights in the darkness that halted often, listening in fear once more for any rumour of the dragon's coming. At last a white glimmer could be seen coming through some opening far above, and the air smelt sweeter. Before them light came dimly through great doors that hung twisted on their hinges and half-burnt.
"There is the great chamber of Thror," said Thorin, "the hall of feasting and council. Not far off now is the front gate."
As they came through yet more doors, a sound of water fell upon their ears, and the grey light grew suddenly more full.
"There is the birth of the running river," said Thorin. "From here it hastens to the gate. Let us follow it."
Out of a dark opening in a wall of rock there issued a boiling water, and it flowed swirling in a narrow channel carved and made straight and deep by the cunning of ancient hands. Beside it ran a stone-paved road, wide enough for many men abreast. Swiftly along they ran, round a wide sweeping turn, and behold, before them stood the broad light of day. Now before them the water fell noisily outward and foamed down towards the valley. They flung their pale torches on the ground and stood gazing out with dazzled eyes. They were come to the front gate, and they were looking out upon Dale. "Well," said Bilbo, "I never expected to be looking out of this door, and I never expected to be so pleased to see the sun again and to feel the wind on my face. But ow, this wind is cold." Suddenly Bilbo realized that he was not only tired, but also very hungry indeed. "It seems to be late morning," he said, "and so I suppose it's more or less breakfast time, if there is any breakfast to have." but I don't feel that Smaug's front doorstep is the safest place for a meal. Do let's go somewhere where we can sit quiet for a bit."
"Right," said Balin. "We ought to make for the old lookout post at the southwest corner of the mountain."
"Dear me," grumbled the hobbit. "More walking. I wonder how many breakfasts we have missed inside that nasty, clockless, timeless hole."
"Come, come," said Thorin, laughing. "Don't call my palace a nasty hole. You wait till it has been cleaned and redecorated."
"That won't be till Smaug's dead," said Bilbo glumly. "In the meanwhile, where is he? I would give a good breakfast to know. I hope he's not up on the mountain looking down at us." In the late afternoon, they came to the top of the ridge and saw the wintry sun going downwards to the west. Here they found a flat place, without a wall on three sides, but back to the north by a rocky face in which there was an opening like a door. From that door there was a wide view east, south, and west.
"Here," said Balin, "in the old days we used to keep watchmen. We can hide here and see much without being seen."
Some threw themselves down at once and slept, but the others sat near the outer door and discussed their plans. In all their talk they came perpetually back to one thing. Where was Smaug?